Malala, it's such a privilege to meet you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
giving us some time.
Yeah, thank you for your time as well.
With your first book, I Am Malala, obviously you were telling your story, and with this new book, We Are Displaced, it's a communal story. You do talk about yourself, but you also introduce us to several other young girls from around the world. You all have very, very specific stories to tell, but I wondered whether there was anything that actually united all of you together.
So all the stories that I share in We Are Displaced are the stories of young girls who have been displaced. And we often hear about these young girls and these displaced people, but we never hear from them. And my goal was that this is an opportunity that we hear from these girls in their own words.
There is something extraordinary actually about reading each of the individual stories, that there is this strength of character and resolve to survive actually throughout each of their stories, which I wondered where that comes from, and you will know from your own story where that resolve came from.
I think the strength that I see in these refugee girls is inspiring, and it's something that you feel like they were in a situation where they were about to shatter and give up, or they gained so much strength that they said that nothing can defeat them and they can overcome any barrier. And the journeys that they have taken, going on a bus with strangers, jumping into these boats with the people they have not seen before, putting their lives at risk, do not know if they will reach to the place that they dream of, a nice beach, a place where there is peace, a place where they can get their education or get a job. Like, would they ever get to that place or not? And the fact that they cannot stay in their home because there is bombing, their lives are at risk, they have lost their parents, there are people who are threatening their lives. So all I see is courage among these girls.
There's a really striking image quite early on in your story where when you were packing to leave your home, you gathered together a collection of books which you put together in a bag, and you were told you couldn't take that bag with you, there was not enough room, so you were very upset and had to leave those books behind. I wondered first of all if you could tell me what was so important for you about those books for you personally.
That was my school bag, and those are my school books, and I just did not want to miss out on anything. I wanted to continue my education, continue learning, and just continue touching the books just to feel like I still have access to the power of education. And it's so important for girls, especially in communities where otherwise they would be kept inside their houses, and there are so many external barriers. So the only way out for girls is to get an education, get a job, become independent, speak out for themselves, protect them from early child marriages, child trafficking. So education in a way is not just learning but also a protection for girls, and an empowerment for girls. So for me, I just said I want to be close to my books. But my mom said, no, this is time that we are leaving our homes, we are going to a place, we don't know if we will get there or not, so pack some clothes and some shoes, and that's it.
In fact, when you returned home, the first thing you did was to run upstairs and check that the books were still there.
I went and I was checking my bag, and the books were all there, and I was so happy because I did not want to miss out on my school education. As soon as I came back, I said I'll continue reading the same books.
Now, of course, you're in the UK, you're at university at Oxford. I wonder what it's like, having known how precious it was, that small bag of books, to now be able to walk into a bookshop or a university library and see that huge array of books.
Yeah, no, I'm so grateful every day. There are so many libraries. Every college has a library. Then there are like university libraries. You can literally find any book there. So I'm just so grateful. I always dreamed about getting into Oxford University, and finally I'm here. It's a prestigious and great institution, and I'm just so grateful for it.
You also mentioned in the book that when it became clear that you and your family were going to have to leave Swat Valley, you cried, and you say that you did that despite not normally being a very emotional person.
Yes.
I was quite struck by that idea, because you do have this strength of character, and in fact you share that with the other girls in your new book. But I wondered whether everything that you've been through, has that sort of strengthened that resolve of character, or encountering other girls with similar stories, has that helped you to sort of tap into the emotions again for what you've been through?
To be honest, it's a mix of emotions. You hear from these young girls, and they inspire you because of their courage. One girl is forcing to get married at the age of 14, and she runs away and she protects herself from that. Another girl is crossing the borders, or another girl sees her mother being killed in front of her, and is still not giving up, and is studying in the US, wanting to become a nurse. So these are just so powerful and inspiring stories. It is emotional, It does make you cry, it does bring tears into your eyes, but it makes your heart even stronger. I'm just getting inspired from these girls. I have my own journey as well, but when you are in that situation, you have so many other difficulties and so many other challenges that you just forget about crying, you just forget about tears, and you forget about becoming weak, and just you have so many other things to worry about.
You mentioned there about inspiration. Of course, so many people have been inspired by your story, not least people like Michelle Obama and people like that around the world. And I wondered who you got inspiration from.
I have many inspirations, like from Martin Luther King to Nelson Mandela to Benazir Bhutto, and there's so many incredible people in the history that inspire us. But the people who inspire me mostly and deeply are the girls who I meet. The girls who I've met in Iraq, in Nigeria, in Jordan and Lebanon, in Brazil. These girls, their stories are so inspiring, and some of the stories I have mentioned in my book, which will inspire people who will read these stories. Their resilience and bravery inspire me.
I think it will inspire readers, and in fact, on finishing the book, there will be lots of people who will wonder, what can I do to improve the lot of people like this? Do you have any advice of what people could actually practically do on finishing your book to help?
There are many ways in which people can help. I think the first one is to learn more about refugees and their stories and just go beyond statistics and figures. Secondly, I shared the story of one woman in the US who is out there helping refugees in her community. Jennifer is her name. So just like how we can help refugees in our community, whether it's helping them in their shopping or helping them apply to universities or just having a conversation with them or a cup of tea with them, but also the final thing is that you can buy the book, because you will learn about the stories, but also when you buy the book, the money goes straight to the work that we do at Malala Fund for Refugee Girls Education.
Well, as you say, all of the girls in this book have incredibly inspiring stories to tell. As I say, that strength of character is, I think, something that's common in all of you. So thank you for sharing not only your story, but theirs too.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.